Perry, how can I defend you? Your podcast name is as long as a menu. You might think it's easy to write a song for a podcast name 8 or 9 words long. Perry has got a podcast. This is my bourbon podcast. This is my bourbon podcast. This is my bourbon podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. With me this week, it's my co-host, Eric the Whiskey Mutant Smith.
It's arrested whiskey mutant.
Arrest? Oh, you mean like
I didn't get
you
arrested.
have been arrested?
No, I got out of jail this morning.
Yeah.
After our live last night, I went to jail.
What'd you go do?
Well,
Did you run into any of our patrons?
do we have a new Patreon this week?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so, because this guy that I ran into definitely wasn't joining the Patreon.
Is that so?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, we don't have anybody new.
Remember the burning garage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the person who set the garage on fire is apparently a serial arsonist. And I tried to capture them last night after our live, but I got framed for another burning garage.
Oh, snap.
So I had to go to jail. It was this whole thing. I was falsely accused.
That's a pretty quick turnaround for people to realize that
you
had nothing to do with it.
It's this crazy thing. I just got the face, you know? Mm-hmm. And they didn't want to.
I've seen it.
They didn't want to see things happen to me in jail. And they knew I had a podcast to record, so here we are.
Well, there you go.
But
That was awfully nice of them.
I got to appear in court in like 2 weeks. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll live stream it. Try to monetize.
I mean, everything can be content, right?
Well, hey, if this is your first time checking out our content, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, he wasn't. He was fine.
I don't do that bad stuff.
Please hit the subscribe button, whether you're on YouTube or your podcast app of choice. If you're just listening and you want to see our big smiling pretty faces, you can do so by heading over to youtube.com/mybourbon. Nope, this is my bourbon podcast.
/ though.
We got too many things, man.
We got a lot of things.
We got too many things. But if you're returning, it is so good to have you back. If you haven't yet left a 5-star rating and review, please do so. It would mean the world.
Do it.
It's a great way to get the podcast in the algorithm of searching and all that nonsense. I don't really know how it works, but...
Does anybody know how it works?
No, not really.
People are
not
always like, you can use this hashtag this week, or don't post until this time this week.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't understand it at all.
What was that thing you said to Patreon last week about trying not to swear so much on the main episode?
I'm trying.
Yeah, there is something weird. And look, that probably has no effect on us now because we are alcohol based.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy too.
So, yeah, I know.
Like I'm fine with all the podcasts putting their stuff like, non-parental advisory, but like at the same time, come on, let's just be honest.
I don't know.
You ever drink with somebody who didn't cuss? Not say the worst of the worst, but I feel like everybody I've drank with at least have said a bad word at some point.
Okay, so like I've said a bad word, but I don't like frequently swear.
But I do. But I'm
Except
just
for me.
Huh? What?
No. I'm saying you don't.
I do swear
Yeah.
frequently.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you were saying that you do frequently drink with people who swear.
No.
I mean, I do too, I guess.
No, I'm saying I
But-
frequently swear myself. I'm just saying, like, at some point, has anybody ever drank with anybody and 100% that they've never said a bad word?
Never is a strong.
I'm just saying.
That's a strong method of
Hey.
excluding people.
That's,
Harsh criteria.
hey, I'm keeping it real. Somehow.
Sorry, I'm trying to clean out some glasses.
Yeah, clean them out.
I'm working on it.
Psst, psst, whoosh.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
If you want to, If you want to follow us on social media, you can do so at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant. We're all over the place, but mostly like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook.
All the main things.
The stuff that matters, I suppose.
Unless you're Dustin, you don't believe in Instagram. So. Still. Out of all the stuff that we've done, preached for years, like, just make an account.
Well, he's not on Twitter either.
Just make an account and follow us. Just us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
Just the two of us.
We haven't sang on a while. Or a podcast in a while.
Just the two of us.
Anyway.
Building castles in the sky.
If you want to check out all of our apparel and merchandise, you can do so by heading to bourbonshop.threadless.com. This stupid citrus bump is not. I got it started on the tip of my tongue,
and then you bite it,
and then I keep biting it, and it makes it worse.
Well,
so that's a good time. Bourbonshop.threadless.com is what I was trying to say. You can send all of your questions or comments about the things that are happening with the podcast to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. We got a nice, lovely little letter this week.
Nice. So like a handwritten one?
It was in digital.
Well, they use their fingers to type it.
Yeah, well, it's finger written.
I want a letter that's like wax stamped.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. And like they use the pen where they bring it out of a box and it's like they dip it in the thing and they're like, "Dear Tim Bip." And then.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What else do I have to talk about? You can send us a voicemail for the Barrel Ring segment at 859-428-8253. We listen to those live on air.
We do.
And we respond to them and say, hello. Thanks for... Halo.
I can be your halo.
A lot of singing. Tony Atarietta is texting me and I don't know
right
why.
now?
Oh, nice. He was just telling me about his plans for Tim Bip weekend.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Talk about that in a minute.
Speaking of Tim Bip weekend, in a minute. You can finish.
Well, I was going to talk about Patreon too. It's patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, there's so much bonus content over there. We just started back this week with the Pours from the Floor series.
Not only am I happy, my wife's happy because I'm cleaning out the basement again.
I like making your wife happy. I hated that I said that.
Wow.
I hated that I said that. I want to...
Friends with benefits, baby. Hey, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, but that's not a part of anything.
I'm going to tell her you said this.
Please, God, do not. Please don't. Please don't do that.
I won't.
I'm more likely to make a your mom joke than I am a your wife joke.
Yeah. So,
because I don't know your mom.
I know your mom's wife.
My mom's wife?
Sorry, let me retract that. I know your wife's mom.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
What? You must love your mother-in-law. What? You flinch, Paul. Now you have to marry your mother-in-law.
Not my mother-in-law. Oh, my God. She's nice. She's a nice person. That's all I'm saying.
Who is the most popular now, Paul?
I don't know my dad, but you know.
You have no good car ideas.
You know when you and your spouse have a lot of things in common.
Yeah.
I don't know her father either.
Woo! Good stuff. Anyway. Oh, man. Yeah, let's talk about this My Bourbon Weekend 2023 real quick.
God, I can't wait.
Boy, howdy. We have made some major developments this week as well in terms of the special guests that we are going to have around. And a barrel pick.
So what now? You haven't told me this.
Sure I have.
No, you
haven't. Did you just wink at me?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I don't like this little paradox. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so we got some stuff in the works. We got some very interesting developments. happening currently as well. But if you want to find tickets for that, they are on Eventbrite, which also there should be a link for them in the description of this as well, because they were there last week. Still plenty of tickets available. I mean, it's February and this is happening in May. But, so you got time.
People took those VIP pluses pretty fast.
They're gone. Yeah. The VIP plus tickets are completely gone.
But they're still VIP.
There's still plenty of VIP. There's still plenty of live show tickets. Do you want to tell people about, in general, what's happening that weekend along with the live show stuff?
Yeah. So you have to get the VIP ticket in order to get all this. But we're going to.
But if you do, we're going to. Everything starts on Friday for you.
If you're staying, even if you're coming in for the live show and you just want somewhere to stay that Saturday night, reach out to us or we'll put the hotel link up because you can use the discounted hotel, which I'm going to be 100% honest. Some people have texted me and said, hey, like I booked straight from the place and I got a cheaper rate on a certain night or whatever. This rate will not change, because it's going to go up before the weekend. And this is a book now, pay later thing. So if you got on the website and tried to book a room, you would have to, in order to get a cheaper room, you would have to pay now, and it's non-refundable. This is a book now, pay when you get here, great rate for the weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend, and the rates are going to go up. But anyway, so if you just come in for the live show, you can have a place to stay if you jump on that now, if you need it. But if you join the VIP, Friday, we're going to meet at the hotel, and that's in Lexington. Anybody listening, where's it at? It's in Lexington. And on Friday, we're going to get together. We're going to have our own room that we can meet in. If you were there last year, the room's going to be bigger now. It was kind of cramped with the bottle share. People had bottles everywhere. We were kind of laying on top of each other. Very intimate, but very claustrophobic. But this time we're going to have our own room. You can bottle share, hang out with your friends, people that listen to the show. We're going to do on Friday, it's going to be a tasting that me and Perry are going to put together, and we're going to split it up this year. So more people in the tasting, but 2 different sessions to where you have more room and you can kind of relax a little bit more as opposed to being like kind of crammed in the one space. Yeah. And there probably going to be something special going on in that tasting for everybody. Then we're figuring out somewhere to have dinner that night. Obviously we wish we could pay for everybody's dinner. But it's just, we want you guys to be able to order drinks and food that you want and not be limited to what, we may be able to afford. Yeah. But we're trying to provide transportation somewhere outside of the hotel restaurant so we can go somewhere, and we'll cover all that for you guys. The transportation to and from that. So we get back after dinner.
Yeah.
We're going to do the live Patreon recordings there with you guys. We'll probably do everything. We'll do some, whatever we're doing there, Sample Irresistible, Pours from the Floor, pregame chats. You can be on it. Just come up. Like, we're going to just do a full live recording and then hang out Friday night. Saturday, will be the live show. If you got the VIP plus, there's going to be a special tasting with Peggy. And then everybody's going to be hanging out there. The room will be open. You can still hang out with everybody and bottle share up until the point of the live show. The live show will start. We're going to have some pre-stuff there. There's going to be food at the live show. You got a free drink on us. There's going to be a cash bar. It's kind of limited with, unfortunately, that room is like they have to control the alcohol that's in there.
Yeah.
So you can't really be just openly pouring bottles for everybody. That's why there's a bar. But I think that's a good chance to get like a cocktail or something to kind of divide it up between like just neat pours.
And it helps, support the
and there's a bartender there that's working and help her out. Like, but she's gonna be making cocktails, or whoever's there. One drink on us, and then the rest is on you guys. We're going to try to get a little extra for you. And then after the show, I mean, we still have our room for that night. If you're in part of the VIP, you will still have access to that. And we're just going to be hanging out the rest of the night. So
it's good stuff, man.
it is good stuff.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I think
Such
it's
a great time.
We try to focus more on just letting you guys hang out, and then we're involved with coordinating and giving you a little bit extra. But it's all about like all the people you see in the group, all the people that you're commenting with during the lives and stuff. Like this is your chance to hang out and share pours with them.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. Links in the description.
get it. You got time, figure it out. But I
Yeah.
will say if it gets I'm up to 75% sold out. If it gets 75% sold out by the middle of March, end of March, I'm gonna bleach my hair.
I'm wearing white pants.
And Perry's wearing white pants. He's gonna look like he's on the set of Miami Vice.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah.
Just do it.
Okay. What's next? Sips and snacks?
Sips and snacks.
All right. So this is how we kick off every other episode, I would say,
Yeah.
where Eric provides a pour for us to drink and then a snack for us to
Right.
pair it with.
The theme on this show, you're going to be on Matt Madness tonight.
Oh, snap. Yeah. If you haven't watched it already, I'm going to be on Matt Madness tonight.
You're going to know what happened if you've already watched it.
By this point, yeah. I feel really good about this one.
I feel good about this.
I'm feeling really, really good about it. I got some stiff competition, but I got to say,
it's a good matchup. I like this
good matchup. And I think this is going to be... I'm at least going to get past the first round this year.
Avenge me.
I'll avenge you. And hopefully I get past the second round this year, too.
Well, if
but
you're listening, you're going to know.
You'd know by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so when we recorded for Patreon and up until this, we're keeping it light. Perry's got to compete tonight, so we're doing lower proof stuff. We're just chilling. There's been no like training or anything. This is just getting ready. So I'm keeping it light still.
This is like when you don't let your kids go to the pool the day that they have a big big game.
Because they're like, they're going to not do good. And like, I don't know if that's real or not. I think kids are they just do whatever.
Yeah, they're going to have energy no matter what.
I think when they get older, it's like, but anyway.
I've been on plenty of teams where we were told don't go to the pool and then we still lost.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
like, I don't know if that correlation is exactly, causation or whatever.
Either way,
regardless,
it's been a busy week. We've had ups, we've had downs. If you listen to the pregame, I've talked about I'm finally going to day shift. And my coworkers got me a bottle.
I love this. I love that this is how we're doing this.
Yes. My coworkers got me a bottle because even though I'm not really switching jobs, I will be switching shifts. I won't be working with them directly anymore. And they know. I'm going to say people that I work with have become aware over the past few months that what I do, because before some people didn't realize I made reels or TikToks or anything. And now people are talking about it more. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Either way, you may be listening right now. I appreciate you guys' support. But my coworkers who are not bourbon enthusiasts, and I'm going to get serious for 1 second right now. We can make fun of bottles and we can be funny. Oh my God, you're drinking this or that. But when somebody gifts you a bottle, like, just appreciate the fact that they gifted you a bottle.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? So I got gifted Basil Hayden Toast.
Nice. So,
yes, Basil Hayden probably is one of the most gifted bottles because, whether the packaging with the paper and whatever, and it's an expensive bottle if you're not somebody who's used to buying bourbon.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, and I'm not even joking about Basil Hayden or anything like that. That's just a good gift, and I think if somebody gifts you a bottle of something, just appreciate it for what it is and the thought that they put into it and the money they spent, because they could have not done anything.
Yeah.
So we've had a busy week. Perry's been dealing with stuff. I've been dealing with stuff. And so we're just going to toast. Me and you are just going to do a toast to each other.
There we go.
With this, I'm not even opened it yet. We're going to revisit some Basil Hayden toast.
One of the earlier reviews that we've done on the show since you've been around.
And then we're just going to... I'm getting chaotic. I don't know if this pairing's going to work. It's all themed. We're just going to eat some Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yo!
We're just toasting it all, baby. Cinnamon Toast Crunch with Basil Hayden toast. Live reaction.
Bruh. I have been
We're going to see what
craving
happens.
some Cinnamon Toast Crunch recently.
We're going to see what
kidding.
happens. We're going to see what happens.
Oh.
So I'm going to open this Basil Hayden toast. We're going to pour it.
I've been avoiding America. I've been avoiding cereal since I've been trying to lose weight. So it's going to be nice to have a little bit of this. Oh, that was an aggressive sound.
If you're only listening, that was me opening the little bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Dude, I think it might be I don't know.
I want to put this in the middle.
Okay.
I've been trying to figure out how we're going to do a pour over on this. And I think we should drink, eat together, and then we just pour it in there. We pour it in the bowl. Oh, we'll just use our fingers.
I got a fork.
We'll just use our fingers. Okay. We'll pour it. I'll do a little pour over, like a little drizzle on it, and then we'll just dip it out.
Okay.
But first, separate. Let's see what basil. Is it basil?
I don't know.
Remember we talked about this.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think the Jerry might still be out.
That's honestly not bad.
I don't mind it.
It's
mean, not my favorite, but I also don't mind it. There's something about it that makes me think about like being at the beach or being in a pool.
Yeah.
And like just kind of a watered down.
Yeah, I wasn't all into this when we reviewed it, I remember. But I think I'm a little bit more critical on things when we're reviewing them. But as a single, just having fun with a pour, not mad at that nose. Toast. Cheers.
I almost said toast and cheers at the same time.
Toast, cheers.
Tears.
To you, Perry.
To you, Eric.
To you, listener. To you, viewer.
Here's to this week being better than the last.
Here's to it. It's not heavy.
But you know what?
It ain't
I
bad.
think it's gonna go really, really well with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I think this is a pairing where the snack enhances, but it's not always that easy. You can't just say I'm going to eat something amazing and it's going to make it like. I really think this is how you need to have Basil Hayden toast. That's really not that bad. Oh my god, I love this cereal so much.
All right, top 3 cereals, go.
Captain Crunch peanut butter.
Okay.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Fruit Loops.
What was the last one?
Fruit Loops.
Captain Crunch, Crunch Berries.
Oh, all the berries. Okay.
No, not Oops All Berries.
Oh, normal Captain Crunch with the berries.
With Crunch Berries.
Okay.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yes.
I'm going to get blasted, and they're fairly new, but they're everything that I wanted Honey Bunches of Oats to be.
Yeah.
But better.
Okay.
There's like a honey toasted oat Cheerios.
Ooh.
It's like Honey Nut Cheerios, but they added in all the like granola and everything.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
As a older adult, I'm getting older. I've been
Honey Nut Cheerios,
eating
dude.
a lot of Honey Nut Cheerios. They're good for the heart and they taste good. Okay. But they're not my top, but it's what I got to do to be responsible. Man, those are good.
I would kill
Take a drink of the
I
bourbon.
haven't even gotten there yet. I've just been enjoying the Cinnamon
Do it.
Toast Crunch.
Just do it. Wow. That's really good. That's really good.
Oh, snap.
Oh, wow.
There is a cinnamon note with Basil Hayden toast that I think kind of a little bit cancels out the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it amplifies the sweetness to where it's not just sugary, it's creamy. Like it's almost it's almost like it transforms it into a more
Like an ice cream.
yeah, exactly. Like a cinnamon ice cream.
Yeah. All right. Time for the pour over.
This is incredible stuff, by the way.
If you're watching, mix it up. Look at that shine.
You might need a little more.
A little more? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I mean, that's a lot of... What would Doka Ryan do?
Oh, my God. He'd put it in a jar for or whatever he says and see what happens or until something happens.
I'm putting Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Basil Hayden toast in a jar for a week, or until something interesting happens.
And then he would just, like, we got too much stuff on this desk to do what he does. He just...
Well, it's been a week.
Well, it's been a week. Let's see what it is. There's no bone apple tea on this one. Oh. Oh, my God.
All right. Breakfast of Champions. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, a bowl with Basil Hayden toast poured over.
Oh, my God. Putting this one in the notes for Peggy. Do we even mention that the live show has Peggy No Stevens?
No, I don't think we did.
We're pairing with Peggy No Stevens. We're all about us.
Whoops. Yeah, so the live show on May 27th, the same weekend as the meetup and everything.
Oh, my.
Peggy is going to be our guest, and she and Eric are going to be going head-to-head on some pairings live on stage, but we're also going to be getting like a masterclass in pairing from Peggy. And I'll be interested to see how her methods of pairing differ from yours.
Oh, my God.
Specifically, and this was brought up last night in the live stream, that she is a big advocate of using a fork with pairings.
What if I don't give her a warning? I'll just take her fork.
Please don't.
That's amazing, though. And this is only 80 proof, so this is a good breakfast whiskey.
Dude.
I don't know if I've ate on sips and snacks this long.
It's low proof. There's enough substance in the cereal to like soak up enough of the alcohol.
It's just like one of those, like when you're out at like Disney or a fair or something where they're like, get your boozy thing.
Yeah.
You get just enough of the alcohol on there to know, hey, I'm drinking some of this alcohol in it. But you don't lose any of the flavor from the snack. Oh, my God.
It's really good, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry to the guy who might comment like on the YouTube that says, y'all have too many mouth noises.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too.
I genuinely apologize. This is just really good. Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Now we got to talk about what we've been drinking recently.
Oh. What have I been drinking?
Did you have a celebratory pour after your last night shift?
I did.
What was it?
A Willett Family Estate single barrel, 8 years old. That costs a lot, and I admit it. But it's one of my favorites, and I did. I had that just yesterday after I got home from everything, and I just kind of sat to myself and had a little pour. But yeah, and then on the live show last night, I poured all wheated stuff, and I had more Willett, and I bottle chugged the Willett 8 year that, once again, I paid too much for. I had some of one of our favorite bottles, the DNA.
Yeah.
The DNA.
I miss that bottle.
Yeah. Well, I still got some.
Oh, no, you do.
You need some? Let me know.
I always need some.
And then I bottle chugged since I'd been on night shift for 16 years, a 16-year-old Old Fitz bottle.
Beautiful.
Before that, I was in Knoxville, Tennessee for volleyball.
Yeah, I sent some stuff with you.
Yeah.
To drink on.
I finished off a little bit of some Old Taylor 6-year, and I was sitting there doing some research on it, and the actual age stated Old Taylor, this is not like E.H. Taylor. This is Old Taylor. It's expensive.
Really?
The age stated that apparently it's not age stated or actually 6 years old, and this was age 6 years.
Oh.
Yeah, so I may have just killed something that's kind of pricey.
Yeah.
But it was already opened and almost done.
I sent it with you, not expecting to get it back.
Well, it's not. You're not getting it.
That's
back.
the thing.
It's gone.
yeah, it's in the trash can in
No, I kept the
Knoxville,
bottle.
Tennessee. Oh, okay.
I like those little old bottles.
No, I do too.
Those are fun.
Yeah, I'll tell something in a minute.
And then I paired some Pursuit Spirits United bourbon with some Nestle Crunch a Bunch.
Yeah.
It was really good. And I think, did you have anything like a subject we want to talk about before we review?
Yeah, I got a couple of things I want to talk a little bit about.
Okay.
Or maybe just one thing. Do you have something you want to bring up?
Dexter's.
Dexter's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that a little bit because
let's
I
do
kind
it.
of had that on the trip, and I'll mention that after we hear what you've been drinking.
Yeah. Well, Mardi Gras was this past week.
Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday. And I find it impossible to go through a Fat Tuesday and not pour some Sazerac. So Lucy made maybe my favorite dish that she has ever made since we've been together.
As it gets lower into that,
It gets boozier.
better,
Yeah. She made a gumbo with chicken, andouille sausage, and shrimp.
Ooh, all the meats.
It was incredible.
She's like Arby's. What?
Anyway,
What?
I had to drink some Sazerac with it. We still have like a whole pot of it in the fridge too. She made like extra roux to go with it too. So I'm hoping that what happens is that it just becomes this like infinity soup.
Oh,
like
wow.
it just keeps kind of going and going
Infinity
forever.
soup,
And
that's a thing.
And we always have like a sour mash soup in the fridge.
That's interesting.
That would be great, man.
Oh, my
It'd be so
Lord.
fun. Also had so Narragansett, I've talked about them recently. They have a kind of a hazy ale.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite an IPA, I don't think, but it is very citrusy, and I had that with the gumbo as well.
Yeah.
Really excellent pairing. I went to go see Ant-Man yesterday.
We'll talk about that later.
We're going to get into that for sure. But as most of you all know, when Eric or I go to the movies, we're packing typically.
Oh, yeah.
Now, our game plan here is to buy a drink when you walk in.
Right.
2 ounces of Maker's Mark or something. Just, nothing too expensive, but, you got something good
Yeah.
in hand.
Get you through the previews.
Get you through. Yeah, exactly. And then whatever you've pocketed, you pour into that cup.
Yeah, because it's hard to smuggle a actual cup into the theater.
Yeah.
Without straight up being like, hey, look, I'm bringing a cup into the theater.
So I walk in. Now, to be fair, the movie started at 5:20 last night.
Yeah.
And there was nothing at the bar. I don't mean nobody at the bar. I mean there was nothing at the bar. The back bar was completely empty. Yeah.
Oh.
It was completely empty. Nobody was back there. There wasn't anybody like getting ready for it to open or anything. So I texted Eric during the previews and I was like, they're not selling alcohol here anymore.
Why?
So I had a little, it was the little Barrel New Year flask.
Oh, that's why that was sitting.
Yeah. So I filled that up with equal parts Benchmark Foolproof and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A123. A very good
high proof
blend.
And a little bit amount to get you through.
Yeah, I needed it to get me through. Anyway, so I sipped on that throughout the movie, and I got out of the movie, and I'm walking into the lobby, and I see that they are setting up the bar.
What? Just setting it up.
Yeah, setting it up, and people were ordering drinks at the bar. So it's not that they don't sell alcohol there. They don't sell alcohol before like 7 o'clock.
What are you even doing? Okay, so when I watched Ant-Man on Monday,
Yeah.
I did the same thing, only instead of I pocketed some Buffalo Trace.
Nice.
We were watching it early, so I was like, we're gonna get some lower proof that I like. But I just bought a small beer, drank on the beer during the previews, and then I had my plastic cup and I used it like that. But they at Cinemark, they were literally, the bar was open. It was like 11 o'clock.
Jealous.
Get over to my spot. We're watching movies together from now on.
Hey, we are talking about moving at some point soon.
There you go.
So might be moving across town. I don't know. But I bottle chugged some Turkey 101 last night, which I don't endorse bottle chugging, but
No.
Eric told me to.
It's for fun.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it's fun with your friends.
Oh, I also bottle chugged some Heaven Hill 6-year bottled and
The
bond.
white one out, and I put out a filler. If anybody has any more of those,
We need at least 2 bottles, one for each of us.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
They wiped Kentucky out. They wiped us out.
But I think that's about it. I had a little bit more of the Wild Turkey French. Oh, we got to do our thing.
Bon appetit. What? Oh, we got to see
Forgot.
how this is.
We got to see how it's progressing. I had some of the French oak chip Turkey 101 as well this week.
by the way.
Oh, thank you. So last week we established that this was going to be an ongoing thing. So here we are. We figured we would take something that we really don't like.
I've got a great side by side with this.
Really?
Yeah, let's just talk about it.
Okay, so this is a plastic bottle of Kentucky Tavern, 36-month-old, 80 proof bourbon. I don't even really remember where this is from. Glenmore Distillery in Louisville, so it might be Heaven Hill. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. What if it winds up being like Stitzelweller?
It comes out, they're like, we just wanted to troll everybody.
Yeah.
And if you've been sleeping on Kentucky Tavern,
But look at how much darker that is
I mean, that's
from last week.
the Light Goblin took a lot of that out.
Turn out the light. That's all he says.
That's a new thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not mad at this nose.
It doesn't smell too different from the turkey after
No,
some time with the French oak chips.
it's so dark.
It's so dark, dude. In the glass, it's it's ridiculous. All right, let's find out what we've done.
Ugh. Okay, it's a little weird.
I don't mind it.
Why are we always opposite on weird stuff? Like stuff that I think is weird,
I
you're
don't
like,
know.
I don't mind it, and stuff that I think is weird, you're like, I don't like this. What is that? Okay, I don't mind this.
Did you say that right? I don't think you did.
What did I say?
I think you said stuff that I think is weird, you go, I kind of like, but stuff that I think is weird, you go, I don't like this. I think that's what you said.
I meant the things that I think are weird and like.
Bad weird,
You,
I like.
Yes.
But good weird, I don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite.
It is very weird. But, you know what this is? It's turned it into like a dusty, funky beam.
The one with has paint chips in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean, though?
I know. Well, I have one.
It is a dusty, funky beam.
I have that one that's a music box.
I got an oak chip in mine.
Well, just eat it.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't need that much more fiber in my diet.
This is growing on me a little bit.
I like it.
You want to compare it to something else that we've been finishing?
Oh, yes.
Well, I noticed that we have
yes, absolutely.
We have a lot of liquid in this Cinnamon Toast Crunch bowl left that we could easily make a little pour for each other. And I am going to do not live, but I'm going to take a video of this and I'll tag us in it because this is something. This is what you're going to get. Let's see. Let me put
Do you want to set this up?
The Basil Hayden toast.
Yeah.
Get the New Year out of here. So that was just a vessel for something else. Little Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Basil Hayden toast. And if you're listening, you probably already saw this, but here we go. Record. This is what you're going to get on This Is My Bourbon podcast this week.
It looks milky.
This is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This is Basil Hayden toast finished in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Okay.
Oh, no.
Where's your glass at?
It looks evil.
Put it under there.
Oh.
Okay, let's see what we've done here. Oh, well. All right. Cheers to this.
Bone apple teeth.
Okay. Okay.
Woo!
Wow.
I feel alive, man.
That is on a 100% real. On a gimmicky
It's so gimmicky, dude.
Gimmicky cocktail at a special event. That's 11 out of 10. If this is like your go-to every day, stop it, get some help. But
it does feel like a flavored whiskey, though.
yeah. Finish this off.
That's freaking wild, dude. That's the comparison is that there is no comparison because they're completely different animals.
All right, shoot this Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
All right.
Have you ever heard that? Shoot Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Not even once.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
It is.
It's so good.
Wow. Okay, this has been amazing.
What a day.
Yeah, I love this. I love this so much.
So let's talk about your thing first.
My thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So on our live last night,
Right.
we did a whole just Q&A. We put questions out everywhere. Facebook group, Instagram, anonymous stuff, whatever. And there was one question we got from our buddy Dexter, Dex on the Rocks on Instagram. He said, do you have bourbon burnout? If so, how do you combat it? And I thought that was a great question to just elaborate on a little more than just answering like a quick thing. Do you have bourbon burnout?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I think, though, that what I have kind of spun it into, though, over the past few years is I use it as like the opportunity to dive into other spirits.
Yeah.
Or other drinks. So I'll take like that week that I'm not feeling like drinking bourbon, and I'll have a gin and tonic or two.
Right.
Or I'll go crazy. Crazy. And I'll get a margarita with tequila and mezcal in it.
Ooh, that is crazy.
Which I did recently.
That's crazy.
You know? And I think that inherently, as people, we just crave variety.
Yeah.
You know? And to me, or for me, that goes a couple of different ways. The first one is that I get overwhelmed with or tired of. I think those two things can kind of be in the same grouping. Everything that we have with bourbon.
Right.
All the different offerings, all the different finishings, all the new store picks, all the new labels, all the new channels and podcasts and websites that have done barrel picks or whatever. And it just becomes too much at times. So yeah, I do a couple of things. I either like take a little bit of time away from it and enjoy a different spirit.
Right.
Or I kind of dive a little bit deeper into what I have in my cabinet that I haven't checked out in a while.
Right.
And for me, at the very least, I think the latter tends to be more beneficial than just stopping drinking bourbon at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I say that is because we are, but specifically I am a creature of habit.
Yeah.
I have bottles that I like. I have expressions that I prefer. I go back to them regularly. I spend a lot of money on Turkey 101 and Knob Creek Single Barrel.
Mm-hmm. You do.
But those two expressions are their own thing.
Right.
And so if you spend so much time with those profiles that you like, then you run the risk of not being able to appreciate everything outside of it. Now, this is also a very privileged viewpoint, I will admit, and I will own up to that for sure, because I do have the opportunity to try so many different things and buy different bottles, and I can factor it into my spending
right
every month. I'm not going out and buying the most high-end stuff, but I am still curious when I go into stores.
Yeah.
You know, it's I still want to find something that may be a surprise on the shelf. So Burnout for me is less about bourbon in general and more about I'm tired of drinking the same old thing.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But I do still like I love a gin and tonic.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite cocktails of all time.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. It's 2 ingredients and a lime.
It's gin
maybe.
and tonic.
Exactly.
I don't know what tonic is.
I don't really either.
Okay. Glad I'm not the only
You're
one.
not, well,
I thought you were going to give me a big explanation.
no, I got no
there.
idea. I think what it is essentially is like sparkling water with some kind of extra, I don't know.
It is what
it doesn't matter. Flavoring or mineral. Well, I guess it is minerals, but I don't know, dude. But that's just kind of where I am with it. But you said that you actually like felt it.
Yeah,
this
I
weekend.
did. So I was out of town in Knoxville, Tennessee, for my kids' travel sports, and we were staying at a hotel that had its own bar restaurant there, and she was hanging with her friends, and so I went down to have a drink.
You're not friends with the other kids' parents?
Yeah, I am, but sometimes I just want to be alone.
I get it. I totally get it. That would be my opportunity if I were in your shoes to go and just be by myself.
When we're at the courts and watching the girls play and stuff like that, we're all talking, we're fine. But honestly, that's about as much as I can handle. I want to get back and, hey, yeah, go hang out with your friend. I'm going to, Dad will be here. Call me. You've got your key. I've got my key, whatever. So I find myself less and less hunting behind the bar as I used to. I mean, like looking at their bourbon selection.
Yeah.
I bring some of my own samples. Like I brought what you gave me. I had some stuff I poured myself.
Oh, you had that beer I gave you too.
And I had a beer you gave me.
The Bad Squatch.
The Bad Squatch, which was great. Yeah. So I find myself lately less thinking, what kind of neat pour am I going to have at this restaurant? And I'm more going to grab a cocktail or a beer or something like that. I don't know. I'm just, part of it is, and like you said, like I'm part of this podcast. I get to try a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't get sent samples, we both buy bourbon. And so we get to try double the amount of what we normally would because there's another person buying.
Absolutely.
So for me, Bourbon Burnout is more of like when I'm out and about, I don't feel the need. Now, if I'm at a bourbon bar or something that's a specialty and that's all they have, yeah, I'm going to try to get something there. But I'm not going to a restaurant, and every restaurant I go to, I'm like, what do they got behind the bar? I'm going to try to get something there. I want a margarita to eat with to drink with some appetizers. Or I'm getting some wings. I'm going to get a local beer to eat with the wings and stuff like that. I don't drink as much bourbon when I'm out and about as I used to. And I think it's because I know I'm drinking a lot of bourbon at the house or on the show or if somebody comes in or something like that.
So what I'm kind of hearing, I think is actually a more healthy relationship with bourbon than one of being worn out with it.
Worn out with it? Okay.
Because you tend to you are really good with placing limits on yourself.
Yeah.
Right? I'm one of the I just want to try everything.
Right.
But also like there is a comfort in going to a restaurant or a bar and going just Knob Creek small batch.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. So to me, that's more like I got to save my palate. I got to save my experiences for maybe this is unhealthy. I don't know. But I'm hearing it as a healthy thing. I got to save it for when it really matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you actually, I think, are doing more work to make sure that you don't get burnt out.
Oh, okay.
On stuff.
Yeah, in my head, it's like, okay, I'm having bourbon here, I'm having bourbon there. I'm going to get something different. But yeah, like, it's almost like I would rather save that pour for when me and you are together. Or like if we go out to a restaurant and it's me and you, maybe somebody else or something, then I'm going to have like that special pour.
Whereas I am like, I want to try all these different things. And then after having done that research or exploration, if I find something I really love, I want to bring it back to the people that I also love and share it with them.
Yeah.
Like
you're a giver.
I guess so.
I think I said that last week too.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I just get so much joy out of the shared experience.
Yeah.
Of just being like, I love this thing. I want you to love it too. Or I want you to like, so like Lucy, this is a kind of on the same plane, but in a different context. As far as like what we find funny, two different things. Like she doesn't like
that's for both of us. Like what me and you find funny, people were like, "What the hell?"
Oh yeah, for sure.
Talking about?
But like she wouldn't find. I think you should leave funny.
Right. April can't watch it.
Yeah.
She gets too cringe. She's like, I can't watch this. This is too. She thinks it's real.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just for fun. She's like, I can't watch it. I'm too nervous about this.
Lucy finds Auntie Donna, which I've shared with you before too, not very funny.
Yeah.
But there are those little moments where like something funny happens or there's a funny moment in a sketch. And to me, like, even though it's not that we may, just kind of inherently share that generalized love for a thing, we can still connect over it in one particular aspect.
Yeah.
So that is just so much more important to me than limiting myself, I guess, or limiting experiences to, and I'm not saying you're wrong by any means either for the way that you.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like,
it.
we all experience different things in different ways.
Yeah.
And
But I like finding my own thing and then being able to share in it.
Right. And I guess after hearing what you said, I'm preventing the burnout. So you definitely are. I'm saving those times going out to when I'm with somebody or I have the time to do it or something like that. So
now that and with that in mind, I think we can kind of split up burnout into a couple of things. I think this is going to be the last part of it that we talk about before we move on to the review. But there's a couple of different aspects to it. The first one, I think, is what we've been talking about in you're burnt out with drinking.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
You're tired of tasting it. You're tired of,
you feel like you always got to know. Sometimes
Exactly.
I think you feel like you've got to dissect everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other part of it is buying burnout,
Oh, yeah.
where you're tired of
picking up, worrying about what's coming out.
exactly new bottles, new additions, new whatever. Because, I mean, you can't get that money back after you've opened it. You can maybe return it if you...
That's a weird thing at Total Wine that you can return stuff.
But it's mostly like wine.
Yeah.
Wine can turn, though. I mean, it's...
So can Chad, my daddy bourbon. He can
he can turn.
He can turn and just get the fuck out of here.
He can't turn left, though.
No. He can't drive worth crap either. We saw that. You knew it. You personally saw that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think those are the two aspects of it. Yeah. If you get into this holding pattern of, well, I keep buying bottles that are new and I had high expectations for, or a bottle that somebody recommended to me thinking I would like it and then I didn't, I think that's a big part of it as well. Yeah. But yeah, I think generally we're like, am I getting burnt out just because I've been drinking too much of it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case as much as, just the culture of it all.
I kind of want to know what Dexter thinks because, I mean,
shoot him a text. See what he says. We'll pepper it in while we're doing the review.
Because that dude, I'll tell you, he has bottles and he's had some bottle
and he
on another level.
Yeah. So in the idea of first of all, let us know, how do you deal with bourbon burnout? Yeah. Tweet at us at MyBourbonPod at Whiskey Mutant.
If you see when we post this, the Funko Pop picture on Facebook or Instagram, just comment underneath it. Like, we'll know what you're talking about. Let us know.
Yeah. You can also use the hashtag MyBourbonPod.
Yes. Anyways, keeping it light.
Anyway, so in the spirit of keeping it light, I figured that we would do a review of something we have never reviewed on the podcast.
I really enjoy every couple of weeks reviewing something that's just like, it's just a normal on the shelf offering, nothing allocated.
You know what? People seem to like it too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we can't review BTAC every week.
We could,
or every,
if we got sponsored,
or ever.
What if there was a show that's like somebody just reviewed BTAC every week?
I would love that.
That'd be crazy.
I would be a Patreon supporter of that show.
One bottle every episode for like every year. And Buffalo Trace just gave them BTAC the whole time. Jesus.
So, Four Roses, is it? I don't even know what it's technically called. Just Four Roses Bourbon?
Human skin label?
Yeah.
Because it used to be yellow.
It used to be yellow label. Now it's brown label or beige label or tan
now it's
or
kind of
whatever
just
the crap.
like a healthy human being label.
Yeah. Used to be screw top, but now it's a cork.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
That was a really nicely timed couple of sentences there. This is a blend of all 10 of the recipes from Four Roses. Both of their mash bills and all 5 of their yeast strains. It's been a while since I've had to talk about that out loud.
It's just so complicated sometimes.
Yeah. 80 proof. This is what, like $30 a bottle?
I paid $19.99 for this. At
$20 a bottle. Excuse me.
At Kroger, the Kroger price was $19.99, and the little slash, like this is what you could buy it for.
Yeah.
Normally, it was $24.99.
Now, I think, if I remember correctly, this is at least 6 years old.
Yeah, I don't think
it's 4. It's definitely not younger than 4, or else we would have it on the label.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure this is like a 6 to 8 year old blend.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that some of the older stuff even gets thrown in there sometimes.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just to kind of improve the flavor. But the most consistently used recipe across Four Roses products, and a big portion of it, I think it actually is their least produced recipe it's their most produced but least accessible because it's used for so much of this, is OBSO. Because it's the most like balanced of all their recipes.
OBSV is the most accessible? Isn't that what the normal single barrel is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So maybe OBSO and OBSV are similarly produced in quantity.
Isn't that your favorite?
OBSO is my favorite.
OESO is my favorite.
Nice.
So
we both got that little spicy.
Oh.
Spice and floral.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. But yeah, like, here we go. Like, this is Four Roses.
Four Roses is
80 proof on the shelf.
It's one of my favorite distilleries. Everything that Lucy has had except from let me say that again. Everything that Lucy has had from Four Roses except for the 2022 LE, she has really liked.
She didn't like the 2022?
She didn't at all, dude. I don't know.
I'm going to blind. Next time she comes over to the house, I'm going to blind her. I'm going to just pour it for her and go, hey, do you like this? And see if she says
she's not going to like it. She is a very consistent.
I'm going to get
all right,
her.
go for it.
Get her.
Go for it.
When we do our chicken sandwich.
Oh, yeah, dude. All about it.
Oh, okay.
It is definitely lighter.
It's light. That's the theme.
Here's there's a little bit of something off-putting on the nose, though.
It's that inky markery thing.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, how am I trying to say this? It smells like, I'm going to use the terms, and people, whatever you think bottom shelf is and all that, it smells like a cheaper bottom shelf whiskey.
I don't think it tastes it, though.
Now, on the palate.
Taste is mid-shelf, dude.
On the palate, that tastes really pretty freaking
really
good.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had something that the nose and the palate are so off from each other. Yeah, I would say don't smell this, just drink it. There's a cupcakey, like vanilla cream note that I get. I mean, it is 80 proof. There's no bite to it. There's not a big finish, but it's very comforting and floral French vanilla.
Yeah. Very French vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
I get a little bit of a like creme brulee thing with this as well.
Yeah.
Kind of custardy.
Custard is the thing.
Yeah. I like it.
I like this a lot.
I like it quite
to
a
be
bit.
what it is. Part of me gets an apple, a little apple-y, green apple.
Yeah, I was going to say like a sour green apple.
On the end. This is definitely a great thing to finish your night off with. If you've already had some high proof stuff and you're like, I want to take it easy with some 80 proof. I'm just going to pour something and a social pour. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I know that if I keep drinking all this high proof, what?
This is your downer for the evening.
No, not a downer.
I mean, like you've been drinking uppers all.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's
it's not
what I
like
mean.
I'm bummed, like it's downing me.
You're calming yourself down after a night of
This is like
upping.
Hey, I've still got a few hours of hang time. I probably need to pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
I need to pull it out, and pour something a little lower. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I'm going to get a low sperm count bourbon. And I'm going to sip on that for the rest of the night. So I don't do anything that I would regret. Not that I'm saying having kids is anything I regret. I'm just saying I don't want to get into trouble.
A low sperm count bourbon is one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time.
That's your
Wow.
Don't get into trouble pour. And it's good. Like you can pour a big pour of this, get you a rocks glass or something, 80 proof. And you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to be able to socialize, and you're not going to, go off into some bad situations.
Okay. Well, that's one description.
Okay.
I think that this is, I think it's a very solid, easy sipper bourbon that people should have on their shelves, not just for sipping neat. I really think that this can hold up in cocktails.
I was going to say,
well.
What would you think of this in an old fashioned?
I think that you have to find some kind of bitters that complement it more so than just kind of drown it out.
Orange
I think
bitters.
orange bitters really would do well with it, on top of Angostura bitters as well. I typically am a brown sugar simple syrup guy. I think that this calls more for white sugar.
Okay.
Like not something as rich. I think that it needs something that
I usually
can kind of
just
compete
do, like,
with it.
I just have the little bottle of just clear simple syrup, and I just do my squirts in there. So
Overall,
not mad at this.
not mad at all, dude. Really, really good. $25?
I think if you don't use your Kroger card, it was $24.99.
I don't hate that.
I don't either.
I don't hate it at all.
Good with that.
We do have to actually put this through the ringer, though. Nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. Eric, rate this nose.
Weakest part, I'm just going to be honest.
I mean, mine.
Rate your nose?
My nose.
You, as somebody who does not have a good nose because they got broke playing football, it's crooked. You have a very, it's very good proportion to your face, and it's cute. It reminds me of one of the 7 Dwarfs, like a little cute guy nose. I don't know.
Jack Nicholson.
No, you got a little cute guy nose.
Okay.
Mine, like you can see it. Look, you see how?
Yeah, but you don't really notice it if you're
You see
not
that
paying
line right
attention.
there?
No, I see.
It was broke right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Is that from the guy who punched you over the girl?
no, he didn't hit that hard.
Oh.
This was from playing football. It was it wasn't like an actual like team game. It was we got a bunch of people together. We're going to play tackle football without pads.
Yeah.
I got tackled, and my face got shoved in the grass, and I stood up, and I was like, I'm good. And somebody goes, bro, you're bleeding. I go, oh, really? And it was pouring down through here. They took me to the ER. I was out of town. They took me to the ER, and I kid you not, the doctor looked like a mad scientist. He like had really thick glasses, and he put the x-ray on the thing, and he turned to me and he goes,
Well, I think it's broken.
no, he goes, it's broke.
Oh, no.
What? Like a surprise. He goes, it's broke. And I was like 13 years old. I was like, well, that sucks. I don't know what to do. He's like, there ain't nothing we can do about it. Just make sure it's not bleeding. You can go. I go,
Okay, then.
okay. And I had stuff shoved up my nose to keep the bleeding from going. And he didn't like try to like set it back in place to where it was right. So now I've got like this little like it's a little crooked.
I'll tell you my one and only tackle football story, because I never involved myself in anything that involved contact sports.
Yeah.
Except for this one time. When I was in youth group, we would have this, oh shoot, I can't remember what it was called. But it was basically just like a weekend where we would go and stay at one of like the Bible study teachers' houses with everybody in our class and everything. And then we'd all go meet up somewhere and do activities. And there was one year where we went to do, we basically had like a field day.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day. And we went out to a park. We were playing football. And there was a kid that I had been friends with for a while. We had a little bit of a falling out, and his parents stopped liking me too.
What?
For some reason.
What did you do to...
I truly don't know. I don't know.
And I don't that they had problems.
Yeah, no. So this guy's parents were there. His dad was there.
Okay.
Adults who were like the chaperones and everything were involved in the football game.
Okay.
I went to go for a pass.
Okay.
I caught it.
Yeah.
And this kid's dad tackled me to the ground.
What?
I luckily didn't get like broken or anything, like nothing fractured, but he laid into me. And nobody said anything.
That guy definitely had testicles hanging from his truck.
He might have.
To compensate.
Might have.
Yeah, I think he did. Really, though?
Yeah, seriously.
Dad tackled you?
Yeah. It was supposed to be like touch football, too.
Of course it was. That guy...
No, he laid me out.
I know a few dudes like that.
My best friend from middle school, the week before our 8th grade graduation, we went over to Acton Park, and a big bunch of us were like, let's play Red Rover.
Red Rover, I dare Perry over.
So I don't want to name him. I don't think he wants to.
Steve.
Sure, Steve. Got called over.
Mm-hmm.
And the two smallest girls in our class had their arms locked. And he decided to run into them. They blocked him to the point where he was running so hard that when he fell back, he shattered his collarbone.
Girl power, baby. Take that, Steve. Were they cute?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good choice, Steve. Way to go. New York. Is that David Levine?
I don't know. Let's find out what this is. Awesome.
Nice.
So, nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of
Okay.
5. But if you want to find out what just happened in the interim there, we had some business to take care of.
Woo-hoo.
That was something. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. Eric, what would you give this on the nose?
Unfortunately, the nose is my least favorite part. It's very like inky, markery. It's like a 1.5 on the nose for me.
I'm going to give it a 2. I think that there are still some like inherent bourbon flavors that are present, but not over the top. That like weird, that weird like marker note there is just a bit too much.
Yeah, I just don't. I think out of everything, this is going to be my lowest score.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Palate's a 3 for me.
3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the palate. Like, for the price, like we'll get to the price and all that, but like to be 80 proof and eat like just sitting on the shelves and stuff, like there's a lot going on the palate. Like I think this, and it's good for a cocktail. It's good for neat.
Yeah.
I could put this on ice in the summer and enjoy it.
Yeah. I think it's like just above middle of the road.
Yeah.
I do think that it's quite diverse. I think that it has a lot that it can be offered in very different situations. But overall, I think that, I just need something a little bit higher proof.
Yeah. No, I get it.
For me, for my palate. Finish, though, what are you thinking?
I mean, for as good as the palate is, like, there's not a lot on the finish. I mean, someone's at my door. I can't genuinely say this finish is great because there's not a lot of finish. I'm going to give it a 2 because it doesn't. Sometimes you get a finish that's off-putting and it ruins everything else, but there's not really anything there. Maybe a little floral on the finish, but not anything that really affects how I feel about it, but it doesn't amplify it either. So
cool. I just blocked them, by the way.
Nice.
Finish, I have to agree with. I think that it's very similar. I think it trails off a little bit for me. I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Okay.
There. Man, finish. Price at $25.
That may be my highest.
That's a 3.5 for me, dude.
I gave it a 4. I think, especially if you're in Kentucky and you go to Kroger and you put your number in and you get your Kroger price, like $19.99 for this.
Yeah.
But even if I didn't and I paid $24.99 for this, like this drinks well above its price tag, if I should say that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. My final score is out of it's 11 out of 20. Look at us.
11 out of 20.
Matching up.
I mean,
that's how it is.
11 out of 20.
I know that sound
for a
it
available bottle.
Yeah.
That's cheap. I mean, that's a solid score for.
And
this
I
type
know
of
that,
bottle.
that particular part of how we review things is very specific. But I think that, if we wanted to kind of generalize this, I would probably give this like a B or a B minus.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not a C.
No, I think, but even an 11 out of 20 implies an F on the American grading scale.
Not here, though.
No, I don't think it's an F by any means. I think it's like a B minus.
It's an 11 out of 20 that you got to explain why it's an 11 out of 20.
Yeah, exactly. But
and it
regardless,
looks like a classic bourbon bottle.
I love this bottle.
It's so good.
Yeah,
that bottle.
Get you some.
Four Roses has been in some anime.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
all right. High proof hot takes.
High proof hot takes. Do I have any this week?
I thought I did, but I've had too good of a time this week?
No, I don't have any. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had some old people experiences, but I'm not.
Before we get to tips and bits, which I think is just going to be our review of...
I think we should just both talk about it.
yeah. We do have a letter this week for Mailbag.
Aw.
It's from Connor Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, okay.
He says, "Hey, Perry and Eric, just wanted to give a shout out to you two and let you know that I appreciate y'all."
Appreciate you.
I've been a patron on David Levine's podcast for a while and recently joined the Timbip community. I've enjoyed listening to the bonus content and wanted to let you know how much I appreciate the community that you've built. I'm a huge bourbon/whiskey enthusiast, and I also struggle with Crohn's disease and anxiety. He's the two of us put together, man.
I mean, that's us.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, that's awesome.
It's nice to know.
Not awesome that you have that, but it's awesome that we share that and we can
that
get through it
experience.
together.
Yeah. It's nice to know that there are some good dudes that are willing to be real and share your experiences to help and make others feel included. Bummed I won't make the Timbip weekend this year, but I hope to make it up to Kentucky soon. Excuse me. Cheers, fellas. Connor,
you may have just, I mean, like, I'm 100% honest right now. Like, that got my eyes watering a little bit because the fact that you deal with that and anxiety, I know,
it's very close to home.
Yeah, it's close to home. And the fact that you may have got something positive out of us being real and everything, like, I mean, that's better than any sample or bottle that somebody would send us.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. That hits to the heart, and I applaud you for what you're going through. And I want you to know that with both of us dealing with things that you deal with, that you can send us a message. Like, you can send me a message right now for anything that may involve that, and I would give you some sort of advice, and I appreciate that.
You're cool, dude.
Yeah. Got me. You got me, Connor.
Whew. Tips and bits. Let's just talk about Ant-Man Quantumania.
Ant-Man, if you watch this, then listen along. If you haven't, we'll probably give a spoiler alert, but I think we should just talk about Ant-Man.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my thing. It's not my least favorite MCU movie.
No, I liked it better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
And I also liked it better than The Eternals.
Yes, barely.
Not by a whole lot.
No.
But I did. So I thought the first act was boring.
Yeah.
I thought the second act was really good.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I think that's where stakes kind of started to get higher, and we started to get this progression of a story that eventually never really came to fruition.
Yeah.
And built a lot of tension and everything. The third act was an absolute mess. Once they get into the final battle, there is some cringy dialogue. There are some questionable character motivation moments. The fact that this whole thing basically just exists within, it's not the void, it's the
Quantum Realm.
No. The volume.
The volume
that they filmed,
because where they filmed it.
Yeah. Is very, very noticeable. It was impossible to ignore that there were actors who were just kind of like looking around, not at anything in particular, but just at like
you could tell they
area.
were not in like a space to where they knew what they really were doing.
I was constantly annoyed by most of the characters and their motivations for anything that they decided to do. Michelle Pfeiffer is still a powerhouse. I think she's great.
Hot.
Jonathan Majors is
great.
Unbelievable and should be. He is the kind, bless you, the kind of actor that comes from the same cut, the same caliber.
Dude, I can't wait to watch him in Creed.
That Chadwick Boseman did.
Yeah.
I think that they are so in line with each other in terms of quality. And I'm not saying that, he is a good replacement for Chadwick Boseman in the MCU, because you can't replace that guy.
No.
He's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Majors cuts to an emotional core that so many actors just can't.
Yeah.
And he's so engaged with the script. And I think that he is probably doing so much more justice to the work that he was given, the lines that he was given, than they might even require.
Yeah.
He could have phoned this in, but he did not.
No.
I think he delivered on his performance this time around. Ruben Rabasa is in it.
Freaking Ruben. He opens it and he ends it.
Trying to get Ruben on the podcast, too.
Stinky.
Too small.
Too small. Too small.
No space for mother-in-law.
Spider-Man?
There goes Spider-Man. We'll get into it a little bit, but what were your kind of overall thoughts on it?
My thoughts were, as I'm watching this and as it's finishing, this felt like the subplot of a much bigger movie.
Yeah.
This felt like there should be more things going on, and this is Ant-Man's little section of the movie. This should have been about a 45-minute special at the most, I think. I'm tired of the full CGI everything.
Yeah.
Like, take me back to the real world for a little bit, have them come back or something. I don't know.
Well, I think off the back of that, two things that I really disliked about this movie. The first one was that it was basically just all Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just people with special suits that kind of gave them powers and, their ant-sized adventures.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that this was supposed to be something that blew the lid open on the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But then also it was just kind of like, those puppets where there's one guy and he's got like two sticks in his hands and like one on each of his feet. And there's like skeletons or whatever like lined up in front of and behind him, and like every time he moves, like he does a little dance, and the things are doing the same kind of move with him too. That's what it felt like. It felt like nobody else had their own interests or their own volition or desire to do anything. And I saw a comment this morning that said there is a really good and interesting version of this movie where Scott rejects Kang's deal to be able to spend more time with Cassie.
Alert. Yeah.
But Hank accepts it instead.
Ooh, I like that.
And in favor of spending time with Janet that he lost.
Yeah, there's so many better versions of this that exist.
So many.
And an Ant-Man movie is supposed to be funny.
Scott and
Hope. It's not funny.
Scott and Hope could have been, and they were supposed to at one point, trapped in the quantum realm, excuse me, after losing to Kang. You can't set up a character by saying one of us doesn't have to win, we both just have to lose. And then the main character, the good guy, wins.
And why
there were no stakes outside of, and I think this gets back to what you were saying, there were no stakes outside of like, well, this is what's happening in the next movie or in the next few movies, and you're really not going to see any fallout from this until 2025.
Yeah, this
so
is
2 whole years that we have to wait.
This is our new Thanos, who's going to be the main villain, and we're getting introduced to him more from Loki, which is a good thing. I like that part. But you took a version of the bad guy, which, spoiler alert, again, there's many...
If you're still listening and you haven't seen the movie and you want to, I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're doing, man.
Yeah, there's many versions of this villain. They're going to probably work together, come together, and all that. But this is one of the worst versions of it. A mean guy that's trying to do a Thanos-type deal. And we have some of the lowest Avengers characters defeat him in a movie. We see that. Like, that, I don't like that.
Yeah, but did he defeat him, though?
No, but they got rid of him in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the whole thing at the end where it's like, did we really do this and all that? Yeah, he's going to come back and all that. But in this movie, you made it seem like these characters could defeat him. You didn't make me feel like this was a character that we needed to go through time and we needed to do a big team up to defeat. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't feel like
yeah.
now, I don't feel like the Marvel movie universe Kang is anything like Thanos.
Well, I also don't feel like I care enough about the characters in this story.
No.
Just in general.
That's why I say this was a movie that could have been the subplot of a bigger movie.
And it was almost like they were trying to set this up in the way that the first couple Iron Man movies did, as far as like the relation between Tony and Pepper was centered. But the difference between those movies, and this one is that you are able to spend time with them and care for them and learn more about their relationship, the things that they have done, as opposed to a 3-minute monologue at the beginning of the third movie where you're just getting caught up on everything that has happened to them since the last time you saw
he saved
them.
the world. He wrote a book.
I think that this movie, and I know that it's already over 2 hours, would have benefited from another 30 minutes of story. I think that if we had spent...
My initial reaction was it could have been shorter.
But if you are trying to get us to care about the situations, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne was just thrown at this movie.
Yeah.
You are supposed to care about her because she is now a philanthropist. She is now doing things to change the world, to help people who were recovering from the blip. But you get told all of that in voiceover at the beginning, instead of spending time where she's in meetings and there is conflict between her and Scott, where, you know, maybe she's gotten too much into her work and Scott feels like he's not being given enough attention, but he's also got this conflict going on with his daughter because she's starting to, you know, like it was a very limp, listless story outside of the fact that they accidentally got sucked into this plot device to move the next phase of the cinematic universe along for Marvel. So I mean, like, I couldn't help but sit there and just go, why didn't they do this? Why isn't Michael Douglas being given more to do? Why does he seem so bored? Why is Bill Murray clearly reading off of cue cards?
Yeah. If you got Bill Murray in the MCU and you're just going to do that,
he is sitting across from Michelle Pfeiffer, speaking to her, and he's not looking at her in the eyes. He is looking above her and reading lines.
Yeah,
he's not acting; he's reading.
Yeah, did better in Space Jam.
Oh, yeah, I actually loved him in Space Jam.
I thought he was amazing in Space Jam.
A very wasted cameo.
Yeah.
I would rather have seen Bill Murray in the MCU as Bill Murray.
Yeah. Or like
not a throwaway character.
Like the Collector or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you're probably like, why are you being so critical on this? Because it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We had great movies for 10 years.
Yeah. And we're going to do that. You can't throw out all these great movies and then put these lackluster movies in and not expect us to dissect them. Like, that's just how it is. So my thing is, it could have been a Disney Plus special, 45 minutes, done. Kang, getting into more Kang stuff, I thought they did a great job. Too much CGI. I hated it. They tried to do the whole, here's a tribe of people Let's make you love this tribe of people.
Didn't care about him.
Didn't care about him at all.
The only person I could name is Quaz, who is the guy that played Chidi in The Good Place.
Was he the one that had the?
He was the mind reader.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the little blob guy that you drink and stuff, but whatever. I didn't like the leader. I don't even remember what she like. I don't.
Her name starts with a K. It's like Katrina or something.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
This just was not. I don't think. I don't even want to get into MODOK.
Let's spend a second talking about MODOK, because I think that MODOK is this the way that they included MODOK is evident of a larger problem within the Marvel Cinematic Universe that unfortunately you can't avoid, because you have real people playing these characters, and eventually they're going to move on from roles. They're going to get tired of having to get so buff that, you know, they can't eat a donut without dying.
Right. They keep getting tattoos.
But it's almost like being teased by the production company going, you see this, you nerd? You see this? Don't you like that? Don't you like that we threw in MODOK into this whole thing? And it's like, I mean, I guess, but I would rather just see like MODOK being kind of like an ever-present threat. MODOK was constantly in the comics this
like
character,
a little guy, I would rather see him, and I think that's what you're getting at. I'd rather see him randomly pop up through movies being like, oh, here's MODOK trying to mess stuff up. Yeah.
Like we see him at the beginning of an Avengers movie, and it's like, MODOK, we've done this already.
He's almost like the villain that Ant-Man needs. And it needs to be them going through a full movie rather than introducing the big bad of the whole MCU into this. Like, give us a Scott Lang and MODOK movie or a special or something, as opposed to him just doing his thing, being annoying, and then dying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been, MODOK could have been the main villain of this movie. And towards the end, he still could have died. Yeah. I wouldn't have minded if he died. It's not that, you know, that's my main criticism
Kang
with it.
Is his boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He could have been the one villain for this movie, and then we moved on from there.
MODOK in the real world, like I was saying, like I don't want to see him in the quantum realm all CGI. I want to see MODOK flying around in like San Francisco.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I wanted to
see. And we got weird baby head, tiny arms.
Did show his butt.
We saw the little dangly booty.
Yeah, they did the good thing. Honestly, though, the CGI with the real face looks so bad. Like to me, like they could have made him look better with the amount of stuff they were doing with the volume and the living buildings and stuff.
And like
make him look a little better.
And like you could tell he wasn't even like his eyes weren't even on track to be looking at Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
he was always looking like over to the left of him. Like anytime that he, it was so bad. But the thing is, like, still, I had fun with this movie.
I didn't hate it.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't love it.
There were parts of it where I was like, this is really good. And I like what they're trying to do with it. But as a whole, it is such a mess. And we shouldn't be. How did we get from Captain America, the Winter Soldier to here?
Oh, my God. One of the best Marvel movies.
That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. Like, I don't even think that it's the best Marvel movie, but I think that it's at least top 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
How did we get from that point to this where none of it makes sense?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway.
That's Ant-Man.
It's like a C minus. It should have just been called, like, Ant-Man and his pals.
MODOK dies. There's Kang. CGI.
By the way, that Kang is coming back.
Oh, definitely.
Like, he's not gone.
You can't be like the outcast or what do they say? What is he?
The exiled one.
The evicted one?
Exiled.
Yeah, he's legit. I don't know. I'd give it 2.5 oozes. Language speaking oozes out of 5. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's how I feel giving it a C.
It's just
average.
I could have sat in my living room after everybody went to sleep and watch this. And
I probably would have had a better time
yeah,
watching it at home
I'd have
after
a
it was
better
on
time
streaming.
having a few high proof pours by myself at the house, knowing I didn't use my membership credit to buy this ticket, and then go from there.
Yeah. What do we have next? The Marvels?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. It's coming out in like May.
I mean, I really liked Miss Marvel. I don't know.
Let's see what
see
the release schedule is.
We got Mandalorian coming up in March.
Yeah, next week.
Fucking yes.
Next week, dude. All right, so Ant-Man and the Wasp kicked off this year. Guardians 3 is next. Okay.
I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Secret Invasion is coming mid-2023.
I'm so sick.
Loki season 2 is coming later
that'll
this
be
year. The Marvels is in November.
Okay, so we
of
got
this year.
some cushion
time
before the Marvels.
Yeah. What If season 2 is supposed to be coming out this year?
They'll probably put some random people in the next one.
Echo is definitely not coming out this year. There's no way.
I don't even know if that comes up here.
Ironheart's supposed to be out this year.
Okay.
I thought they were changing that over to
They probably will. That's what I can't wait for.
X-Men 97.
Yes.
Dude, apparently they have already started on season 2.
I mean, I think it's going to be phenomenal.
I hope it is. Scarlet Witch is supposed to be in it too. Agatha, I could
do we need that? Probably not.
Not really. Daredevil Born Again.
Please, yes.
Probably gonna be upper mid tier
I think so.
of Marvel movies or Marvel
She-Hulk-
shows, excuse
She-Hulk
me.
above She-Hulk.
It's
probably.
definitely gonna I think it's gonna be on par with Loki.
Yeah.
Captain America New World Order, May of next year.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Thunderbolts.
Please do it right. Oh
Please,
my God.
for the love of God, make Thunderbolts a good movie. Blade,
Please do
maybe
it
next
right. I
year.
don't know.
Deadpool 3 next year.
It's gonna be good no matter what. I don't care.
I think so too. Spider-Man freshman year.
Freshman.
Freshman year
It's gonna be good.
next year, I think. Fantastic Four, early 2025. Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, May 2025. Avengers: Secret Wars, May 1st, 2026. Armor Wars. Okay, that's what I was saying about Ironheart.
Yeah.
Let me say though, I didn't ever really talk that much about Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
I friggin' loved and realized how much I missed an armored hero.
Yeah.
When I was watching
They got their little
Wakanda
AI
Forever,
and stuff going on.
I don't even care that it's not Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I love Riri Williams. Excuse me. I think she's a wonderful character, and I'm so happy to see her in live action.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. Marvel Zombies, undated. Wonder Man, undated. That's going to be. Oh shoot! What is his name? Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Yeah.
Who was in Watchmen.
Yeah.
A Wakanda series, a Nova project, Vision Quest, which is supposed to be filming next year, too. So probably 2025, 2026 when it comes out.
There's tons of stuff that we're going to be excited about, but like, man, this just wasn't it.
No, this was. But it's been like project after project where we've been like, okay,
Yeah.
not great, but let's see what happens next.
Right.
So
I would probably go over to patreon.com and see what happens next. Patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast.
Good transition.
For as little as $1 a month.
There you go.
You can support us, and at $5, you can see what's next on all the bonus episodes. We just did the first episode of the new season of Pours from the Floor. Then we
tense.
Yeah, it is tense. Then you get the pregame chats where we got pretty serious this week. It helped me feel better. I think it helped Perry feel better, and I hope it makes you feel better. And that was the first place that you had chance to get tickets for the live show coming up in May. We're going to be pairing with Peggy. A lot of stuff going on there. We've talked about it already. But yeah, patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast. If you want to get some merch, bourbonshop.threadless.com. Perry's going to be putting out some stuff for the weekend. There's still plenty of designs on there if you want to get a shirt. If you want to send an email, you can send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can send a letter like Connor. Is that Connor sent one?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can ask us to do a review, ask us to do a pairing, whatever. Just send an email there. If you want to be on the podcast, you can leave a voicemail at 859-428-8253. We'll play your voicemail, and then we'll reply to you. If you want to follow us on all social media, it's at MyBourbonPod. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. You can follow Perry's personal stuff at pritter1792. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. If you want to join the Facebook group, This Is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group, search it. Ask to be a part of it, answer some questions. We'll put you in there. We are posting links and stuff for the live show. I'd say that will be one of the most active places getting closer to the live show. You probably want to be a part of that. And then leave a review, 5 stars, 1 star, whatever you want to do. It all helps. You can leave a rating on Spotify, but leave a review. We'll read it out on Apple Podcasts. And then just tell people about us, like, subscribe. Just do all the stuff that you hear people say it all the time. Just do it for This Is My Bourbon Podcast. You can send us a letter. Perry will give you the address if you want to send a scarlet waxed letter. I'm really wanting one of those. I think we have a new review. Do we?
We don't.
Okay.
I was just checking the
You
page.
pulled it up,
I was trying to make sure that we didn't.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to read this review from 2/1/2.
do you want to read an old one?
Evan Pittsburgh.
How about an old one?
Voices of an Angel.
Read that one.
This is from 2017. King K Mono gives a 5-star review. Bourbon galore. Great, guys. Great show. Excellent content. Keep it up, fellas. ! Thank you, King K Mono from 2017. Hopefully you still feel the same way. King K Mono, if you're listening, send us a direct message to say, yes, I gave a review in 2017, and I'm still here, baby.
Don't think that he's going to send us a message, but he's listening.
How do you know? You know him? Is he listening from heaven? Really? Well, R.I.P.
Sorry, Billy.
Sorry. Yeah, so bless up.
That does it. For
You
this
did
week.
this to me.
Yeah, I did that to you on purpose.
Great.
Thank you all so much for listening. We love you guys. This has been one heck of an episode, regardless of whether you're listening on the main feed or on Patreon. One way or another, we are going to see you real soon, which is probably going to be next week, unless something happens and we decide that we're going to do something crazy.
We'll figure it out.
Until then, though, I'm Perry.
That got me. You got me good. You got me good. I'm the Whiskey Mutant. Yeah.
And this is my
going to hell.
podcast.